Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Danielle and Natasha show of shared wisdom, my friends. I'm your co-host, Danielle DuBois, and this amazing woman is dun dun dun.
Natasha Davidson.
The crowd goes wild. Babes, we wanted to actually jump right back on. This is part two. We were chatting about um essentially creating our life and that when you're in the thick of it, when you're in the mud of it, what is that really about? And Natasha, I'm going to have you jump off on this because you started speaking of that this is happening for me, not to me. So I'd love for you to address more of that if you would, please.
Yeah. So in that example that you gave earlier, when you were talking about in with Dr. Sue, how she gave the example of, a drunk driver, injuring you, crippling you, maybe even taking away your family from you in this terrible car crash. Like someone would be like, tell me, how is this happening for me? Like, this
Yeah.
is just so painful. Well, I will share with you, the soul wants to expand. The
Mm.
soul wants to fully live this life experience and witness its own magnificence. And it's able to witness its own magnificence when it overcomes so-called problems, right? So that's the opportunity in it, is for
Mm.
us to choose differently next time, right? And so um if our life were super safe, super comfortable, super boring, then there's no opportunity there for our soul to expand, right?
Yes.
And yes, we could have these lovely experiences, but sometimes we forget about the beauty of the painful experiences because it's such an opportunity for us to view things differently. So let's take, for example, this example of this drunk driver, right? So if we were to know that this is serving us and our soul wanted this level 10 experience of forgiveness, there's the invitation to forgive this drunk driver. Maybe the drunk driver was actually playing a part in your movie as a gift to be the perpetrator, right? Because he wanted his own lesson in self-forgiveness. Because can you imagine if you were to kill people or to cripple someone, that shame and the guilt and all of those heavy, painful emotions you would feel, and to be
Mhm.
able to overcome that, right? And get to a place of loving yourself, because our teacher teaches us that the most like the greatest accomplishment in this life experience is self-love. So if
Yes.
you do something that's pretty unforgivable, and then you end up just, hating yourself for it,
Which would
right?
be natural,
Which would be
unfortunately, but
natural. Like,
yeah.
oh my gosh, I killed a person or two. Like, you would hate yourself. You would just, it would feel so terrible. So to go from that experience to, wow, the opposite end of things and
Mhm.
loving yourself, like, what a magnificent story, right? And we all love good stories. Like, look at Hollywood. There's
Hmm.
so many great stories out there, and we're the ones creating this great story for ourselves as
Yes.
observers of our life experience.
Mhm.
And so we get opportunities throughout our day, even little things of, wow, can I view that differently, right? Like driving on the freeway, someone cuts me off. Am I going to get super upset and give them the middle finger? Or am I going to be like, oh, maybe they're having a rough day. Maybe they are worried they're late to their presentation, And so just kind of offering a little bit of compassion, of forgiveness, of giving people the benefit of the doubt. There's so many opportunities throughout our day.
Yes. And if
Wow, I feel like I've said a lot.
it's
Do you
good,
want to add on to that?
I do. Thank you. And I appreciate what you're saying about on the freeway and compassion. And when you're speaking of compassion for that person, bring it back to yourself, compassion for yourself also. Because I have perfect examples where when I'm feeling just all frisky and fabulous and someone cuts me off, then it's like, oh, you know what? Maybe they're in labor and they got to get to the hospital now or whatever. And when I'm feeling the other F words and it's and I can be all angry at them, it's like, no, it's not about them. Bring it back to me. Let's take a breath. Bring it back to me. Self-compassion. Compassion for others starts with compassion for the self, for sure. And I so appreciate what you were saying regarding, well, all of it, but the growth and that this is happening for us. And I know that we will have some, a few, many, whatever, viewers saying, oh, really? Yeah, that drunk driver killed my kid, and I'm supposed to be okay with that? No, that's not what we're saying at all. What we are saying is that that may be a beautiful opportunity for you to give yourself love, because certainly as a parent, you're going to go through 1,000 of the what ifs. What if I didn't allow my child to be in that vehicle? What if, what if, what if? But this again comes back to timing and an evolution of your own personal growth and expansion. Some people can forgive relatively soon. Some people need to go through a whole lot of stuff before they can get to the point where they can forgive. And again, I'll use myself as an example where I have had that in, well, relationships, and whether that's a romantic relationship, a friendship relationship, or a business one, and where things have gone seemingly not my way, not how I would have had it go. And yet now that I'm on the other side of it, I've had some time to mature in my own evolution. Now it's like, oh, that worked out so perfectly. That gave me the most beautiful opportunity to expand in ways of X, Y, and Z. But it's all happening for me. It's all happening for the self. And it's important to keep that in mind and be gentle with yourself. Because if you're not ready to forgive, if you're not ready to self-love, if you're not ready to love that other person or be okay with whatever's gone on, that's okay too. You can't fake that. That'll happen when it happens.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And thanks for bringing that up, Danielle, because you know, if it takes an entire lifetime to forgive something that is so traumatic as
Yeah.
someone, you know, killing your child, that's okay.
Yeah.
But each day, you know, if you're taking little baby steps, or maybe you take one step forward and then two steps back, that's okay. And that's
Yes.
where that self-compassion comes in. It's like,
Yes.
you know, I'm doing my best. I am loving myself. I am doing what I can right now in this moment.
Mm-hmm. And this is where a little toolkit can come in handy. So when you are feeling in a fun and frisky, fabulous kind of mood, make a playlist, a music playlist for yourself, to play whenever you want, and specifically when you feel like you might be going down into a spiral. Put that music on and kind of pre-plan. Okay, this is my kit. I've got the music in it. Maybe I've got clips that I've put together from really funny movies. Maybe there is a favorite coffee shop I go to. Maybe there's a favorite person that I ring up and say, hey, I could really use a naughty joke or something right now. Like, help me, lift me out of this. Or I need to get myself to a kickboxing class now because I need to beat the F out of this and just go in there and beat that hanging bag that they've got in a boxing ring and just like get physical, go for a really great run. You know, hit that tennis ball harder than you've ever hit it in your life. Because sometimes a physical thing, a is better than a playlist. Like
Yes.
and you'll know in yourself, but have a bunch of different tools depending on where you are on your own self scale of I'm going down the spiral. I can feel it. How can I lift myself out?
Yes. Yes. Yep. So
Self-compassion,
great.
self-love.
Yes. Yes. Love that toolkit that you suggested.
Yeah,
Yes.
or first aid kit or whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. So that brings up another topic that I would like to bring up next time
Okay.
for our next little video show. And
Yes.
that is feeling feelings. So rather than suppressing feelings and,
Yes.
bypassing feelings, actually feeling the feeling,
Oof. Yeah.
letting yourself have and feel those painful feelings. Because from my experience, what I've learned,
No.
when I push them away, they just come right back.
Yes. Yes. Well, it's like you know, uh playing with a puppy. If the puppy, for example, is this weird, but if the puppy were that feeling that you don't want to feel, it's a puppy. It's just going to keep coming back and just going to play with you until, you exhaust it. And we can exhaust it by sitting with it, really feeling it, and giving it love.
Yes. Yes.
Giving it love. That's a great subject to hit on next time, Natasha. Thank you for that. And because that feeds right into what we have just been talking about.
Yes. Perfect. Awesome.
Brilliant. Okay.
Well, that feels complete for today. All
All
right.
right.
Talk to you
Okay.
later.
Bye, babes. Love you. Mwah.
Bye. Ciao.